So let's go back to the last time fans saw you on the show. You were part of the Night Owls crew. I feel like that group kind of quickly became a fan favorite.
I mean,
How
what
did
a great
you?
episode that was, dude. I mean, how cool was that episode? Not that I watch it every other week, but
Well, I was gonna say, like, what do you remember most from that episode? Because I mean, so much happens in that episode. It's one of the better
dude.
episodes of the season too. On top of being, the first one we really get to see that group.
Hey, you said that. I didn't say that, but no, I'm joking. I mean, honestly, like the whole experience was just mind blowing. I mean, like I'm speaking to comic book. They get it. You guys, you know what it's like. I grew up with the toys. Like I was on the sofa. I was playing with the armless Boba Fett. Like these were like part of my earliest conscious memories. Handed down from my brother, who's like 8 years older than me. So I step in, at the audition, you hear about this character, Axe Woves. You don't know what they are. They don't tell you it's a Mandalorian because, they're seeing the town. So when you book it and you go and get fitted and they show you a Mandalorian helmet, just stop, imagine what that's like with your reference brain for all of this world. What happens to you? Like they say, look, it's totally normal. People get really emotional and it's okay. Grown men cry. And so I did. And so, I mean, that's the first hurdle. And then, you've got the belt on and the helmet, and you just stand in front of that mirror and you're just so empowering. So you're dealing with a hell of a lot of things. You're dealing with the whole universe of it all, the fact that you're a fan as well. That was a huge thing to deal with. And then you get to set, and I remember. You remember the scene where we come out of the elevator and we just come out blasting, right? And we just mow through these stormtroopers. You remember that
Yeah.
part? Well, the doors opened, and there's stormtroopers there, and I just had a moment. And so it was a rehearsal, and then Bryce Dallas Howard came up to me. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I'm just having a moment. Like, I just, I'm looking at the buttons that, Luke and Han, those buttons that they're on the Death Star I'm like, and in front of me are stormtroopers, and I'm 6 years old again. I need a
Yeah.
minute. And because everyone on set is like that, there's just such enthusiasm for your enthusiasm. And it's just, I mean, that's one particular moment I'll never forget. And then obviously, I said this on stage in Seattle at the Comic Con there, but they then turned around and the first bit of direction that Bryce said to all of us was like, okay, great. So we're going to shoot. Just everyone remember not to run out and say, vocally, pew, pew. you know. So, everyone's laughing. We look so cool in that episode, but, behind you've got these grinning adults that are kind of returned to, 6 years old on the sofa playing with the toys. So, that's where I am on that.
Yeah, the enthusiasm comes through in the show. It's part of what gives it that energy. And your one of your fellow Night Owls, Mercedes Varnado, is also
Yeah.
a favorite. I'm a big wrestling fan as well, so it was always cool to see her jump in. And then of course Kate Sackhoff, and so there's just so much talent in that group. What was it like being on set with them?
Humbling. I've got a badass, wrestling, Hall of Fame on my right. I've got the original Bo-Katan, there, who was also, oh my God, it's slipping my tongue now. But what were the sci-fi shows just popped out of my head?
Oh,
Where she's
Battlestar. Uh,
Battlestar,
yeah.
So you're there within it, and I think it's because I'm grateful for being a certain age where this is my profession. So, you're a giddy fan of everything around you. Pedro's there, they're there, John Favreau, Dave Filoni, but then you've got to do the work. So, you have your fanboy moments, and there's that kind of bandwidth for you to have that collectively, because everyone's, sort of fans of everybody. And then you get to, then it kind of elevates everybody, because you're like, okay, this is actually greater than all, than all of us. We all are passionate and driven to elevate where we can. So you've got this forum for, sharing ideas and hopefully coming up with good ones as a group, which helps, I don't know, capture a moment or two which maybe wasn't written, or you go for a certain camaraderie or a look, which I'm really glad they got. There's the dinner sequence where we're all sat around the table. A look to Bo with a mention of something, which fleshes it out, and that's where you're allowed to do, your work. So the fact that there's that ability to allow you to step in with your own, ideas, and that's just amazing. But that's John and Dave, and Bryce as well.
Well, yeah, and then that's also, I think, part of, it quickly made that group very, endearing, and then, you have this big moment in the season 2 finale, and then people took notice of, hey, where's Axe Woves?
do you know what? I am going to say, it was so, it just filled me with such joy that there was that, obviously, people were asking those questions, and that had struck a chord as that character. We don't wear our masks. I think there's, our helmets, sorry, we don't wear those. And I think that there's just that connection, to our characters, and that dichotomy between the kind of, walking the way. So there is, the fact that they relate to our faces, and then, when I wasn't there, that reaction was just, it just fills you with just such joy that people cared. So that was just amazing to get that reaction. If you're asking me why I wasn't there, then there's just an amazing story that comes with that. But it's more John. I said this, they've interviewed me for the gallery, which will come after the season, right? And I said what I'm about to say to you. I said, well, look, the story isn't really mine to tell. And they said, no, you tell it. John watches this, so if he wants to tell it, then it won't be you telling it. So I told it then. I don't know if it makes the grade or not, but I'm reluctant at this point to reveal why I wasn't there. But it's a great story in itself, and one day it will come out, and I'll just be really glad to share it. I mean, Katie, whenever we're together, and there's we're doing a panel, she says that I was just in the bathroom. I was in the toilet, basically. And Axe was in the toilet, Din Djarin and Boba Fett turned up, and to which I say, yeah, and I knew they'd be fine, and yeah, quite clearly they did very well. I mean, they didn't need me there. They did a great job. So yeah, that's all I can say at that point.
No, that's amazing. Yeah, and by the way, like, sometimes you just got to go. I mean, there's no.
Hey man, look, where was Axe? He's the one guy in this universe that needed a pee. I'm sorry,
it happens. It happens at the Oscars all the time. Yeah, it happens at the Oscars. Like, people are in the bathroom when their trophy gets done. It happens.
I needed a moment. I don't know many guys that don't take a moment in their bathroom and with their phone, and they just they take a bit too long. But it's our moment. Everyone needs a moment.
That's where way too many mobile games get played.
Hey man. Yeah. I thought I recognized your handle.
It's it's a perfect. I think that's a perfect segue. I don't think there's any better way to segue into season 3, which we've already. It's funny because the last time everyone really saw Bo and the Night Owls, things were. Things were okay. Things were they were a group, and there was a cause. And then we hit season 3, and the first time we see her, it's like everything has just fallen apart, and the place is empty, and there's like no one.
Yeah, she's on her throne, having an emo moment. She's got the 90s indie music in the background. She's upset.
Yeah, she's upset.
She's having a moment, and that's why she's having her moment, right? I had my moment in the bathroom. She's having her moment on the throne, and she mentions, she says, look, it was the Lennon and McCartney. There was a fallout, and you catch up. She mentions in episode 1 of the season, doesn't she? She mentions the fact that where is everybody? They're off acting as mercenaries. And so when you meet me at the top of, this episode, I am in charge of the mercenaries. We are acting as mercenaries. We've repurposed the vehicles that we took from which we saw in the episode from the remnants of the Empire, and we've refashioned them as a sort of Mandalorian mercenary group. And I'm in charge of all the Mandalorians that sort of turned their back on Bo. And so Bo comes to find me to have a conversation about it, and how Mandalorians are. Rather than a chat, we decide to throw it down, and we had one of the most incredible fights that I mean, the fans, I just can't wait to dive into their reactions on this, because we filmed the heck out of it, and I think Bryce has done such a good job in terms of, you've got these two people that we were allowed not just to have this epic fight. We're flying all over the place. We're using all of our many years training to kind of beat each other up. But there's a lot of heart and pain in there. Here's a character that on the surface he's all about the money. He's at the moment, but he's not. He's been part of her group for a long, long time, and is very, very dedicated to seeing that kind of union come together again. But they've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, that's so it's actually Bryce directing again as well. So you got to reteam with her.
I did, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Her and I have a really good shorthand. Like, there's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of texting going on set between her and I. In terms of just the humor, but also when it comes to the acting, from the episode in season 2. There's just this, mutual respect. I mean, I'm a fan of hers too, let's be honest. I mean, she's worked with the best directors on earth, and she's grown up. Her father's one of the greatest directors of all time.
Right.
So her kind of inherent film knowledge and the skills and the kind of approach that she offers as a director and the respect that she gives her actors, it's just so fun. That's where I just have the best time, when I'm given the option to kind of explore and feel safe as an actor. And hopefully, it comes out in the wash. You get to see, I like to give, the directors a lot of choice. I kind of give a spread, and she's really interested in that. So off the back of that, it's just fun. She's really fun, Bryce. She's a real, she's got a great sense of humor.
Well, I mean, if the thought of a Bo Axe throwdown wasn't enticing enough, the fact that Bryce is behind the camera just makes that all the better. With what you can tease, do you feel like Axe really gets kind of, because you mentioned he's full in on this mercenary work, and he's very much like a pragmatic person. He's going to focus on what's in front of him, but there's also a lot of baggage there. He did believe in that cause. Like, there's still a lot of internal conflict with him as far as where they are now. Do we get to see like an arc for that character kind of in this episode or throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'd like to say, obviously I can't, say
absolutely.
too much at this point, but I think that once you've seen this episode, I think that you're satisfied that the reintroduction of Axe serves the story that's being laid out in the season. And oh man, again, my enjoyment comes through hearing what the fans make of this, because I'm a fan. So I'm just really, I guess hopeful that, it lands where we all hope it, where we're aiming for, and that it satisfies, because, that's all we really care about.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, I am super excited. If the opportunity ever gets to come around, you up for a Axe Koska duo spinoff down the line?
Man, listen, these guys we work with are geniuses. So if that's in their thinking, then of course, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't want to be part of that? I just have no idea. You kind of think, however they want to use us, we're available. We don't need much notice. They have my number. They can email. They can call. I'm on Instagram. They can reach me. You know, so I think you know. I mean, I've chatted with Dave. You know, Filoni, and he's just like, dude. You know, like it's so clear how much you love this. Like, you know, we just want that energy. Like, we love you, dude, and it's very much reciprocated. You know, these are good people, and they're taking care of something that so many people care about, and that's exactly what you want. So, you know, to answer your question specifically, if that's what they see as service to this wonderful work they're doing, of course we'd be honoured to do that. I speak for Mercedes here. You know, I'm confident to say that too. But, you know, we're already happy. You know, we're happy with what it is. You know, so.
Well, hey, yeah, absolutely. And there's not. Look, there's not much to complain about. The show's fantastic. It's my.
I'm a toy, dude. I'm a toy. I'm several toys.
You're like and you're not just a toy. You're like a hot toy. Like the hot toy, like uber collectible. Like you got the real treatment, you know. Like that's. I think there's even like a series of busts and statues and stuff. Yeah, like it's not even a small thing, you know.
Well, you talk about it as if I don't have a secret basement. You know? So,
Look, if I know I would. if there were figures of me, yes.
Did I just admit that?
I think you did.
That. Oh my word! Yeah, I think I did. And you know what? I'm proud. I'll wear the t-shirt.
Well, that's amazing, man. I have truly enjoyed this, and seriously, all the best success. And I cannot wait to see the episode myself and what comes next.